of the best times of my life were spent in marching band and voice lessons, trumpet lessons, piano lessons, all of that stuff. Concert band, choir. And even going into Pittsburgh, which was a 40-minute drive for me, every Saturday morning I'd be there from 9 to 5, taking dance lessons and musical theater lessons and acting lessons, all that stuff. That and getting to skip school at least 2 days a week, at least 2 days out of a week, 3 times a year. That was pretty sweet too. But what the arts taught me personally was commitment to a job that you have to do. It taught me good practicing habits, which in turn kind of helped with my homework habits and studying habits for school. So the arts have impacted my life in more ways than one, and I don't even want to think about what would have happened if I hadn't, started taking piano lessons at age 5. I also wouldn't have been able to do fun stuff like this. The shadow cast of the Rocky Horror Picture Show that they showed in Pruis on Halloween. I'm the one in the maid's uniform, magenta. Oh, it was so much fun, completely uninhibited and completely uncensored. I wasn't alone in all of that feeling too. The whole cast felt the same way, including Zachary Ryan Allen, an English ed major who played Frank. Also, Haley Dillon, an art ed major who played Columbia. I was able to talk to them about their experiences.
What was it like playing a role like Frankenfurter?
Fun. It's one of those roles where it's like you don't have to worry about what anybody thinks because it's Frank, People can't say, "Oh, that's so bizarre." It's Frank. People are going to be like, anyway, and you don't have to have any inhibitions in it. You can go out there and be like, okay, I'm going to do whatever the mood strikes me to do.
What was it like working with a man in drag? I put it bluntly.
This is my Oprah Karen face.
Not as weird as you'd think. I mean, it's kind of, we'd been at it for so long that it was kind of like part of our characters had melded with us. So, I mean, was it weird for him to be in drag? Was it weird for boy playing Brad to be in drag? Maybe, but it didn't really bother me as much as you might think because I was Columbia, so I had to be the mindset. I see this all the time.
When it came to cutting the arts from public school education, Haley and Zach, well, they both pretty much had the same reaction.
I'd say definitely bad idea because the whole point of school is to prepare students for their future careers. Well, if a student has decided that they want to be a performer or in the arts, then, how are they supposed to get their training? It's like, there's you could say, go out and do community theater, but a lot of students, when you're a high school student, you're not going to get cast in a lot of community theater shows because, one, they're going to be like, well, you're younger, so you've got school to worry about. You can't be at rehearsals until midnight. I did it, but, And a lot of times, a lot of community theaters don't do roles with teenagers, at least not in the school year and stuff. So I think we need the music, we need the band, we need the choir, we need the theater departments just to take care of those students who decide that's what they want to do with their lives, so that they get that training before college.
Bad idea. I'll talk about the other aspect. I mean, studies do show that kids tend to learn better when they have an artistic outlet. I mean, obviously some people aren't interested in that, and so they take it into sports or whatever. Or, sometimes cheerleading can even be creative. There's creative aspects to everything. But I think if you take all the art and music out of kids' lives, then that will push some of them to be very unhappy in school.
Some of us are autistic.
So,
that's an excellent point.
For me, I was never very good at sports. I don't have very good coordination. And, like, you need something to be good at, because pride is something that helps you keep your sanity, and I think having something creative that lets you put all of your energy into that one thing and do something with it productively is one of the best recipes for any student that might.
I also spoke with Andrew Kramer, a sophomore at the Lincoln Park Performing Arts Charter School in Midland, Pennsylvania, about arts education in his life.
I started playing trombone because I liked those. I was watching Mr. Rogers when I was a kid, and so I liked those little slide whistles. And that's what
crying in the wilderness, and if anyone's watching, it seems they couldn't care.
If Burgettstown had been better, would you have stayed?
That is a toughie. Well, I guess the way I see it, not only do I get like the same, I don't get the same like musical experience at Burgettstown that I do with Lincoln Park, just because like some of these instructors, they're like, they obviously know what they're doing.
Lost in the wilderness.
The teachers have been around the block a couple times, and like Mr. C knows what he's doing too. But like like if I wanted to try some things, like I wanted to try composing last year, and I did. It wasn't my thing, but I got to try it, which is great.
Right.
And like it's those kinds of opportunities that like are broken to.
Where do you think you could possibly be today? A sophomore in high school.
Not gonna lie, I'd probably be a pretty big loser. I mean, that's just the way it would be, because, and I know that I personally, it takes a little bit of a push to get me to do stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know, if I hadn't been taught commitment, and if I didn't have, like, the major push to, you gotta be doing something, you can't be sitting on your butt at home all day, I'd be a pretty big loser. I'd probably weigh a lot more than I do now.